I assume you don't like a lot of other YouTube creators. Oh, you just have a sip of your tea, delay answering the question.
I'll let you answer this one, Ben.
I don't know what to say. Like, people who become famous on YouTube, I think a lot of them don't go into it thinking they will be role models. And I think it's kind of unfair to just tell people you have to be a good influence, like you have to be a role model. You don't have to be like an advocate for education or whatever cause matters, right? But I think we find it frustrating, and maybe more so than the average person, when we realize like what a privileged position it is to have a platform like this. When people are such shitty people and bad influences, or complain about how hard their lives are when they're like scamming their young impressionable followers out of money, like yeah, that there are too many examples of YouTubers who do that. And even some with like really great reputations who otherwise seem like nice people who give away cars to people, but then they sell their followers like puzzles that are just lottery tickets and make millions of dollars off of their young impressionable fans that way. Like, it's really disappointing every time we see a story like that.
And then there's people just personality wise that I think it's kind of obvious why we wouldn't get along with them, even if we were just like in real life. Like if you were in high school with some of the top YouTubers and no one was a YouTuber, would you be friends with them? And I think the answer for me a lot of the time is no. Not because I like hate them or something. It's just because personality wise, they have different interests than I do. There are a lot of YouTubers that really enjoy like the vanity aspects of it, that like to show off all their cars, that are all about wealth and flaunting it. And that is probably the polar opposite of my personality. That doesn't mean I don't appreciate like business and making money, obviously. I just think there's a very big difference there. And I also think some of this is cultural. So where you grow up and who you are friends with like totally changes your perspective of other people. So we grew up in Canada where like I don't know anyone famous. And like yeah, there's rich people who went to my high school, but nothing like compared to when we go to LA and see the people who interact. So when we've gone to LA for YouTube related events, there's a bunch of different personalities that are all very big, all very, think people are interested in them. They want to be the center of attention. And that's not to be interpreted as like a negative thing. That's just part of their business. That is what they do. Literally, like the attention is on them and it's monetized. That's what they do. While I do that, I'm not totally comfortable doing that all the time. Like it makes me feel weird.
Well, are you just projecting your insecurities onto these people, or?
It's not that. It's just as a personality thing, I find it hard to click with people who enjoy that to that extent. It's not a judgment thing. It's just like if we were in high school, like would we be friends is kind of the way I look at it. And it's like probably not. It's because I'm the loner, maybe. Like I'm the one who doesn't want to be seen of the whole group. And I find it hard to relate, honestly, with a lot of the other YouTubers sometimes because I'm not doing what they're doing. I don't have an agent. I'm not getting put on TV shows. I'm not doing interviews, like,
And you're not
promoting
looking for
things.
those opportunities.
I'm also not looking for those opportunities. I'm not getting Botox. I'm not otherwise altering my appearance. And I think as a woman, that is a huge thing that can divide women into like friend groups. So that's something that you see in high school too. There's like the pretty popular girls, like as a cliche clique, but it does happen. And then the girls who like maybe don't care so much about wearing makeup to school. And I would be in that latter group.
Yeah, I will say when we've gone to YouTube events in LA or New York or wherever, sometimes I'm expecting to like really dislike someone, and they'll turn out to be just like a super grounded person who's down to earth and easy to have a conversation with. So I'm a little I'm a little more reluctant these days to just judge someone I haven't actually met. But at the same time, there have been many examples of us meeting people at these events where their first inclination is to talk about like their numbers. My social blade looks great. And like clearly just how much they love themselves and how they want to be famous. And those are the people where like we just immediately sort of know like we would not be friends with that person, right?
Yeah, even though it might be a good business opportunity to have been friends with them and collabed, like I don't collab with people. And we had a whole podcast on collabs, actually, if you're interested in hearing more of the behind the scenes. But I just want to reiterate Ben's other point, which was that sometimes you judge someone because you see one video about them and you think like, oh my God, what a self-absorbed asshole. But I have actually met some of these people and they are not always like that. So I really do want to point that out too, that this isn't just like an assumption I make based on someone's picture. I want to meet someone, and I have absolutely met some really great people that you might think just from watching one video that they must be one of those self-absorbed people, but like that's not true in my experience. And I've become, you know, friends or like friendly, let's say, with some people that I thought maybe I wouldn't have.
Yeah, but if someone's like, I don't think just because someone is not that in person means it's like totally forgivable if they are projecting that sort of stuff online too at the same time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Anyways.